Three things that you might have missed in Trump's speech. First of all, one that made me sad is this word of mental institutions about Africa.
They're coming from jails, and they're coming from prisons, and they're coming from mental institutions, and they're coming from insane asylums.
And Trump has repeated these words throughout his campaign, and he has mentioned it on his inauguration speech.
They're emptying out their prisons, and you've heard me say that, but they're also emptying out their mental institutions. And
what?
To use a strong couple of words, insane asylum. Insane asylum, that's where, anybody see Silence of the Lamb? That's where they come from. The Congo has just released a lot of people from jail. Congo, Africa, just released a lot of people from their prisons and jails and brought them into the United States of America. This is what's happening to our country.
Let's take a listen.
It fails to protect our magnificent, law-abiding American citizens, but provides sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world. We have a government that has given unlimited funding to the defense of foreign borders.
Now, to put you into context, remember Trump once said this word back then. Most African leaders or most African people were offended by this word. But can we clearly say that our African leaders are failing us? For example, look at us as Africa. Why can't we just unite and become one bloc? The reason why United States is so powerful more than us is because it's United States, which means that these states united.
Leader is the stumbling block. They want to be president of starving people. America has 300 million people and a GDP of $19 trillion. They have one president, they're doing just fine. China, $11 trillion, population 1.2 billion people, one president, and they're doing just fine. So it's possible for this whole continent to be run by one cabinet with one president. But the current leaders, little Botswana, little South Africa, are not ready. So they talk regional integration, they don't action it.
If we can be united and be one country, be ruled by one president, surely we can challenge the United States. They cannot come and take our cobalt.
They designed these economies in a way that as long as these economies remain what they are as individual African countries, they are economies that can always be exploited. As a continent, we are a heavyweight. We belong in the big league, in the heavyweight ring. And the only way that we can take our Africa to its rightful place, it starts with a conversation with the image in the mirror. Because we need to decolonize ourselves. We have failed to come together because of the rule of divide and conquer, the seed that was also sown during the Berlin Conference. We must wake up and realize that we are victims of that. When we go to a negotiating table as black people, we always go feeling inferior. It goes back to Berlin Conference. And they come in feeling superior. So until the African wakes up and realizes that we're just as good as anybody else, that we can play the big boy game just like they do. And the only way we can win, however, is to cleanse this, have a conversation with the image in the mirror, and unite.
They cannot come and take our oil. They cannot come and take our gold. We can be able to challenge them. We can be a bigger powerhouse than China, but our leaders are comfortable ruling these small states and not thinking about the bigger picture of the global politics. The second thing that got people so much excited is the story of the gender. And Twitter, TikTok, everyone is going crazy about this policy of the United States, male and female.
As a trans person myself, like the thoughts of my rights in the future being, threatened is something that's scary. Yeah, I'm not excited for the next 4 years.
How do you feel about Trump being inaugurated for his second term today?
I think in total it is a terrifying thing to happen in the United States. I think it is a bit disgusting that we've allowed a felon into office and someone who is so hateful towards people of color, towards people who are queer, and just towards women.
I am a transgender woman. One day, I will become president. And when that day comes, I will use my political power to ensure that no one is left behind and that everyone will have the path to succeed.
Dear folks, at the risk of being nuked or rattling my very good friends out there, I want to lend my full support to President Trump's first executive order. Period. You're either male or female. Let's now get back to sanity. Let's stop this woke culture. Let's help our kids out of it. Let's cancel people who've gone astray. Let's perform natural obligations. Could it be the end of this notorious question of why are you gay? Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. Lesbian? Homosexual? How can I describe you? Why should someone be gay? Doesn't that make you gay?
What do you mean, doesn't that make me gay? I am male and attracted to a female.
Oh, who is gay? Anyhow, seriously speaking, let's follow common sense. Let's not defy nature. Cheers.
Many Africans are so excited about this and they have pledged their support. As you know, that Africa, most of the people say that they are Muslim or they are Christian or they practice their traditional religion. And it is African leaders or African states that have been bombarded by rights movement to say, why don't you recognize people of this? Why don't you recognize people of this? And in America, sanity probably is returning to America. And I really think that this is going to spell a lot of disaster in African countries that had accepted such nonsense. To me, it is nonsense. Why do you want to be told by woke things that we have different genders? And many African people and African leaders or African Christians are excited about this. And then the last one, which got people excited, which Donald Trump mentioned in his speech to say, I was saved by God for me to restore America. This has gotten Christians in America so proud.
But I felt then and believe even more so now that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
And most of them, they are saying that Trump is going to restore sanity into our nation. And this, they are going to repeal the issues like abortion, the issue of gender-affirming care, all these things that has been happening. And this has gotten, and many Christians are so excited about this. But we'll wait until the next 4 years. Will Donald Trump be still popular and be still loved by Africans, by Christians, like he is now promising to be? We'll see you in 4 years and see if Americans are still happy and Africans are still happy.